Okay, I guess new people have joined. So hello again. We're starting in 2 minutes now, and yeah, nice to see you all here again today. Okay, we'll be getting started in 1 minute. So yeah, nice to see you all here again. Okay, we'll be getting started now. So first off, can everybody hear me all right? No, let me see if I can move my mic closer to my mouth. Okay, there. Hopefully it's better now. Okay, that's good. So yeah, we might just wait 1 more minute just to see if anybody else joins, just to give them a chance if they're going to be late, and then we'll get started. Okay, but that's good. Yeah, so nice to see you here again. So how are you here? How's the week for you guys? I can't hear him. Yeah, maybe try joining back. That's good. Okay, thank you. So yeah, we'll just wait 1 more minute, see if anybody else is going to join. I know somebody just left, and okay, good, they joined back. So yeah, I guess we'll get started now. Let me also turn on my camera before I get to do that. School. Okay, some of you are back in school. That's cool. Okay, hopefully you can see my screen. My camera should be on, and okay, you guys can hear me. Okay, so welcome back, and we are on day 3 of learning HTML. Hopefully you guys are doing well. Yeah, you guys started school. That's cool. So it might be a little bit harder to do both at the same time, to be taking this course and school. But it's even more impressive that you're able to do both. So somebody else just joined again. Okay, so let's get started. So last class we talked about more tags in HTML. We learned the li ul tags. We learned the image tag. We learned the b tag, and we also learned the br tag. So yeah, we just expanded our knowledge in HTML. In this class, we're going to be doing the same thing. And then today, what we're learning this class might be actually very simple, but it's something we need to understand before we can move further on in just learning about technology and the web. So today we are going to be talking about links. So what is a link? So we've all used links when we've all used links in the past. We've even used it in this Google chat over here when people are posting links to SolarN's Code Playground, for example. And yeah, so a link is nothing. I'll just accept this person joining. So a link is nothing but a web address or URL of a web page, and it allows you to connect with different websites So once again, we've done this. For example, Sharif, I know you've helped out putting the Code Playground link in chat for us. So yeah, you've used links. So yeah, a link is a reference to data that the user can follow by clicking or tapping. And in this case, the data is whatever content's on the web page or that web page itself. So here's an example of a link. We probably recognize it, the www.domain, and then the directories for what page is taking you to. And yes, that's a link. Yeah, sure, if you just put a link in chat. So there's also another term you might have heard called a hyperlink. So a hyperlink is an icon, graphic, or text that links to another file or web page as well. So to put it simply, a hyperlink is a more friendly looking link. So I'll just exit out here quickly. So I just created a quick Google document where we can look at this. So for example, on a web page, web pages use links. That's how they take you to different parts of the web page. So we usually don't see links. Let me zoom in so we can see this better. We usually don't see links as the one I have highlighted here because it's a lot of text and it doesn't make it too obvious of what the user's trying to visit. Yeah, just like the links you put in chat. If you're just a user trying to do something and get to a different part of the page, it's not clear enough and it's very complicated if you're not familiar with this type of stuff. So what a hyperlink does, once again, is that it makes it look more friendly. So hyperlink can come in many forms. It can be pure text, so it's edited. So this right here that says click here, this is actually a link. So I can tell that's linked because when I hover over it, I can see the option to take it to a different web page. So I'm not sure if I'm explaining this well, but yeah, we're just going to test out both of these. So this is a normal link above. We can see the www, we can see the domain name, and we can see all the other stuff about where it's taking us. And we're just going to press on it. So it's going to, yep. Okay, so right now, this is more of the introduction. We're actually going to be doing that in today's class. So by the end of today's class, we're actually going to learn how to do this. And not only do this in like a document, but also in HTML. So yeah, let's just finish up this introduction. We'll get to actually doing that soon. So yeah, this is what a regular link looks like. It's just straight from the actual URL, and we can just put it in chat and share them. Yeah, they are very useful. So what a hyperlink does is that now you can make it more obvious of where your link takes you. So you can actually say something that's more related to instead. So maybe if it's text coming along with it, you can say, you should click here. So maybe that makes sense. So a person's reading the document and they say, you should click here. And they say, oh, okay, I'll click here. This is Google Document, so you have to open it like that. And it takes you to the exact same page. So we have the same URLs up here, except one here, it looks more friendly. So any questions regarding that? Did I explain that well enough about the difference between a hyperlink and a regular link? Once again, you can type them in chat. I'm always looking at chat and ready to read. Okay, you sure did. Okay, I hope that's good. So yeah, hopefully we know the difference of a hyperlink and a link now. So something we can do right now is that could you guys maybe copy and paste a link for me and put it in the Google Meet chat, maybe to your favorite website or the website you use most often? For me, that would probably be youtube.com. That's the website I probably use most often. Okay, so yeah, you guys just somebody put the one just to this meeting call right here. So learn to code playground. That's cool. Roblox.com. Oh, yep, I'm familiar with Roblox. Google.co.uk. Yeah, nice. Okay, so that is okay. So that's great. We're all putting in links. So those are just normal links. And then when we build our website, if we see a user, actually, I have an example open for this. I believe I might have actually just closed it. Actually, no, here. So we're on a website right here, youtube.com. Once again, this is the website I use most often. I'm under the trending page currently. So when we build a web page, we won't copy and pasting. I guess I can explain this quickly. So you highlight something. So let me get something to highlight for you. So maybe you have text over here. you would highlight it by dragging over it while press left clicking. You would right click and then you'd select copy. Hopefully you see that. Then once you select copy, wherever you want to put it down, you right click again and then you press paste. That's the easiest way to explain it. There are also shortcuts to do it. But yeah. Okay, so what was I going to say? Okay, so yeah, the web pages we build, the web pages we use actually do not have normal links. They all mostly use hyperlinks. So right here, hopefully, if we can all look at the bottom left corner of my screen, we can see https www.youtube.com and then some more stuff. Hopefully we can all see that. You still can't copy. Let me think. Maybe I believe your Iomide sister. Maybe she can show you in person because I believe she knows how to do it. It might be easier that way. So yes, let me put it for youtube.com. So yeah, these links we see here, these are actually links that take us to different pages of the website. So I can go to subscriptions. We can see that it has to reload that because that's a different web page. So yeah, this takes us to a different page, and we don't see those long https.com, www domain name URLs. We just see these titles. So these are hyperlinks, and of course they're styled and organized in a different way. So hopefully that helps us with using hyperlinks and we understand. Take my example. Okay, I'll try opening that up. Let me drag that over here. Okay, so it looks like the NBA website. So yeah, these things up here as well. These are also, let me go here. Hold up, the page is still loading in, so I'll give it a second. Let me X out of that. Okay, so let me see where I can find something that will take me to a different web page. So probably up here, okay? So if we look down at the bottom left corner again, we can see that we can see the link in the bottom left corner, and we can see that's going to take me to a different page. So I'll actually press on that. I'm wondering why this page is kind of slow anyways. So yeah, it opens up a new page and we can see the link over here. So these are all hyperlinks as well because it doesn't show the whole HTTPS, blah, 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 blah. So hopefully that makes sense. It's just more friendly and it's nicer to look at. So we're just going to close out of here and we're going to continue on. So let's go back to the presentation. So hopefully we all understand hyperlinks and links. Okay. So we're going to talk about the A tag now. So the A tag is a new tag we haven't talked about in HTML, and it defines a hyperlink. Of course, it's used to link one page to another. So if you're curious, as we know, most tags, the letter in them is short for something. So like the P is short for paragraph. In this case, for the A tag, the A is short for anchor. This is a tag we're going to be using to create our own hyperlinks, as somebody asked earlier. We're going to actually be doing this ourselves. So what is an anchor? This is more of just bonus information because I myself was curious to know why the A was short for anchor. So yeah, you need to know what an anchor is, of course. So an anchor is a heavy object attached to a cable or chain that is used to prevent a boat from moving. Anchors are used by boats in order to make them stay in a specific place. So I guess the reason it's called an anchor is because you can compare it to similarly, or you can compare it to how it is used for how the anchor tag, is used for attaching a link to the content inside it. So that's just bonus information. You don't need to really know that. It's just something extra you can know. Okay, so you figured out how to copy and paste. That's good. So let's continue on. Okay, so we're talking about attributes again. So could somebody write me like a brief sentence about what an attribute is? We learned attributes last class, but just to see if anybody still remembers so I can introduce it to us again. So could somebody just write me a brief sentence, like summary of what an attribute is, or give me an example of an attribute for something? Okay, well, I'll start actually. Okay, yeah, width of the painting. Yep, that's an attribute of a painting. That's great. I'll also put one A human's eye color, that's an attribute of a human, our eye color. Yeah, somebody put that as well, color of eyes. So yeah, color of things. Okay, so hopefully we kind of remember attributes. I guess just to make it more clear, an attribute is something that's like additional to an object or something. So hopefully that kind of amount of salt, I guess you could say that. Maybe if you're talking about meat, how salty the meat is. Our height, yeah, that's an attribute of us. So yeah, I guess we kind of understand our attributes. I can skip on that more, but does anybody want me to re-explain the attributes for us again? I'll look at chat. Okay. Okay, yeah, it looks like we're all getting attributes. If nobody wants me to re-explain, I guess we'll save time because we're going to be doing something big soon. So anyways, href is an attribute for the a tag. And for this attribute, we have to assign a value being the URL, so the link, the web address, where the link goes to. Href is short for hypertext reference. This pretty much just relates to our hyper text or hyperlink, sorry. How do we add an image to the blog we made last time? Okay, I guess we can go over that briefly again. You can also view the camp materials on Google Classroom for day 2 of this camp, and it should be there as well, but we'll also do it quickly again because we do have to do that. So yeah, href is an attribute that specifies the URL for the page the link goes to. So just to use it quickly, just so we can keep along, I'll exit. Okay, good. I need to stop sharing my screen. Just keep following along. We'll go into a code playground quickly. So I have one over here. Go full screen and zoom in for us. Let's just run this so that goes away. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly use the a tag. You can see an example of it. So we have the a tag, and then we're okay. Let me make sure. Okay, I'll present it again. I'll just end it and your entire screen. Okay, thank you. Hopefully you guys can see my screen now if you didn't already see it. Okay, that's good. So continuing on. So the a tag, we're just going to do it like this for now. So you know that has an attribute, and we only need to mess with the opening tag currently because we need to use the attribute. So we're just going to quickly use it, and we're going to do this. We're just going to put href because that's the attribute. We can put it in the opening tag. So href are the equal signs and then the quotations. So let me just zoom in further so you can see this more clearly. So we have this for now. So we have the opening a tag, the attribute being href, which is short for hypertext reference, and then we have the quotations. So in between these quotations is where we would put our URL. So if somebody could copy and paste the URL to me quickly, I'll test that one out. But anyways, to continue on, if you're still looking at my screen, again, I got that URL. So to continue on with my screen, I have to create a closing tag for the a tag. And then in between these tags now is where we would actually put our text. So what we want to show up instead of just seeing this long link. So, okay, we'll test this one out first. Maybe I can test multiple. Okay, so we have this first link. Hopefully it's a good link. So yeah, let's just, if we run this now, we'll see our output if you're curious. If we run this now, we do not get any output, and then we actually have to tell it something. So I can say multiple things here. I can write anything I want. So in this case, I'll write, check out this link by clicking here. And I have to remember to run my work, and we can see our output here. So usually on most web pages that don't have styling on top of them, you can quickly identify a link if it has that underline in this like purplish bluish color. So we're actually going to test this out for ourselves now. We're going to press on this link. I'm actually going to quickly add something extra for us actually. So this is actually going to be part of the extra activities for you guys to figure this out, but you'll kind of see what it does here. So I guess I'll run this 2 times just so we can see actually. We'll press run now. I'll press on this link and then watch what it does. So this is going to be a little bit complicated, but this isn't a real problem. This is just because we're using SoloLearn's Code Playground. So I'll press on this link, And then we'll see that it tries to open up the web page within this tiny output box. So to fix that, we would use the target attribute. I'm not going to really explain this because it's part of the extra activities. So we're going to use the target attribute, and we're going to put, I believe, blank underscore, I believe. So we're going to press run again. Okay, good. So it worked. Okay, so I'll get out full screen so we can actually just see what happened. So it took me to a completely different web page, and I want you to pay attention to this URL up here. We're going to go back to my page that I created. So I'm going to press this link. So check out this link by pressing here. I know I should click here because it tells me to, because I used Hyperlink. So I'm going to press here, and it opens up a new page. So notice how this link changes here. And we can also see when we hover over this, if we look at the bottom left again, we can see where it's actually going to take us to. Okay. So we're going to go back here again, and then I can run this, of course. This looks like share Eve's block. Okay, that's great. Wow, that's very, very cool. So yeah, that's just an example of link. I'll test out one more. I don't think I'm going to do the meet call because that would kind of mess with the outfit and might mess with this actual meet call I'm in. Or honestly, I guess I can do it. So I'm going to change it out with the meet call URL. That looks like it is. So remember, in between these quotations is where we put the value of our URL because we are using the href attribute. So here now, I'm going to copy and paste that URL that Brian provided me. I'm going to zoom out again, and we're going to run this. So once again, our text didn't change because I kept it the same. But now I can press on this link, and it should open up the meet call. So you can see that the URL on the page I was on changed. Sorry, I didn't scroll down. Can you turn a page to a different color? Yes. Okay, look, it opened up here. I'm just going to close this because it might be a bit confusing. Can you turn a page to a different color? Yes, you can do that in HTML. We're not doing that this class or next class, I believe, because that's getting a little bit more advanced, and we just want to learn the basic HTML fundamentals first. But if you want to get ahead, once again, you're lucky that you have your sister there, so you could ask her for help with doing that, which would be yes. When you pardon? The YouTube link that I put in the classroom. Let me look at that quickly. Okay, I see what you're talking about. We'll talk about this after class. Hopefully that's all right. I believe that's actually for a different day as well. That's for day 2. Okay, we'll talk about that afterwards if you'd like, so I can understand your question more. But anyways, we'll continue on for now. So yeah, any questions so far about hyperlinks? Hopefully I answered that question about changing a page to a different color. Yeah, you can do that. We're not doing that this class or next class, I believe, because we want to learn the basic fundamentals of HTML first before we start styling our work. So any questions about using the A tag, hyperlinks in general, or links? Let me go full screen as well. Oh, wrong page. So yeah, any questions about that? I'm looking at chat a lot now. I can see a screen. Okay, so are we all good on hyperlinks and links? Because what we're going to be doing next requires knowledge on this. Okay, I don't really get it. Okay, so let me see what I can re-explain. Okay, so basically links are URLs, and if you remember, URLs are a web address for where something lives on the internet. So as you've been seeing in chat, people have been putting links to different websites, and those take us to different pages. So what we're learning to do right now is how to put links on our own web page, so we can take people to other web pages from our web page. So in this case, what we've done, imagine this is our web page over here in this white box. So what we've done is that our web page is pretty blank right now. but we have a link that people can take to take us to a different page. So typically, what somebody would see when they, or what somebody, if you didn't use the hyperlink, what somebody would see if you added a link would be something like this. Let me see if I can create an example quickly. I'm going to, maybe I'll actually comment this out since I think I'm going to use it again. Remember using the comment tag. So I'm just commenting this out so it doesn't appear in my work. So yeah, typically this is what somebody would see if you gave them a, you can't hear me. I believe my mic isn't muted, so you should be able to hear me. Can anybody else not hear me before I? Okay, seems like I'm good. You might want to try maybe increasing your volume. Okay, good. So yeah, anyways, so this is what a link typically looks like when you don't do anything to it. And it's pretty boring. It's not something nice to look at. It's a lot of text, and a lot of it we actually don't care about because we don't care to see HTTPS. And yeah, so it's just not very appealing, and it's a lot of stuff. And it might just be confusing to somebody who's not familiar with technology and stuff. So what we would do is that we would use a hyperlink. So pretty much the hyperlink, it just hides all the extra stuff that the user doesn't really need to see. So let me uncomment this out again. And in HTML, we would use the A tag for this, as we've already discussed. So yeah, hyperlink makes it so that the user doesn't have to see all the extra stuff, and they can just see whatever you want them to see. So you can just tell them to click here. You can tell them to visit here. You can tell them anything you want within this link. So I'll just say click here. Now, instead of seeing all that like gibberish that we don't even really care to understand, all we see is click here. We can click here and the link works and it takes us to the different page. So hopefully I can hear you, but your voice is crackling. Okay, I'll drink water in a minute. Might be me. Okay. Okay, so yeah, hopefully that explains a hyperlink and a link. So hyperlink just is a more friendlier looking link. Okay, good. You get it now. That's great. Okay, so let's continue on. We're getting close to our break mark where we just take a quick break, but we'll go for a bit longer. So yeah, this is what a functioning A tag looks like now. I've just created this since it's more zoomed in and you can look at it. So in the opening tag, we have the A tag, we have the attribute href. In between here, we paste our URL. So that's the web address, wherever we want the page to take us to. And then we have our closing quotation. Then we have our closing opening tag. So yeah, a URL again. I guess I'll repeat this one since we have a little bit of time before our break. So yeah, URL stands for resource locator, or sorry, uniform resource locator. That's an address for where something lives on the World Wide Web, the internet. And yeah, you can compare it to your own home address because that's where that's an address for where something lives. And giving someone your home address, let me actually turn this on. So giving someone your home address allows them to locate and visit you the same way hyperlink allows you to locate or visit, or sorry, a URL allows you to locate a visit, an image or website. Okay, so here's an example of clickable text now. This is what we were just doing again. So just to sum it up, so we have our opening A tag, attribute, URL in between. The URL as the value for our attribute. And then we have our text for whatever we want it to say. So this can say anything you want. I just say click here to view web page because that's just the most simplest thing. If I had a specific web page in mind I wanted to take us to, I could just put the title of that web page itself. And then we have our closing A tag after all of that. So of course, this is wrapped in the body tag and all. So we have body tags outside of this because this is content for where the web page is. href, insert link here. Okay, yeah, so Sharif just put a good example in the chat with that. So yeah, that's good. So continuing on. So last thing we're going to try right before our break is something very cool. So somebody asked about the image, using the image tag earlier. I didn't forget. So we can actually create a hyperlink with an image. Because if you remember, a hyperlink is a friendlier link. So it doesn't need to be text. It can also be an image. So this is actually very, very easy to do if you already know how to use the image tag. So let's get out of here quickly. Yep. Okay, I guess you pretty much answered the question for yourself, but this was going to be a part of the extra activities. So what you need to include in your code, I'll actually just copy and paste this for you to use. Just put that as well. So that's actually an attribute and a value. So this is going to be a part of your extra activities to figure out exactly what this does. But yeah, just copy and paste this up with your A tag. Sorry, I should have actually done that earlier, so you could have tried it for yourself. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. I guess this is an early heads up, I guess I could say. Yep. You're a bit lost. What part would you like me to try to explain better? You were here for the previous 2 classes. Huh. Okay. I believe there are videos you can view that have the actual classes in them. So you'll have that shared with you probably. Yeah, videos will be posted for those 2 previous classes. So I don't believe I'll be able to repeat everything now because we are getting short. Okay. Right now I'm not on that screen. I don't have that interface open. So I think you'd have to talk to the moderators in chat currently. But after class, I can also try to help you. So let's just wrap this up and then we'll move on to that. So right now you can try talking in chat with the moderators, or you can just continue on with us. Okay. So anyways, where was I? Okay, yeah, so we can actually create hyperlinks with images. So quickly what I'm going to do, forget we have this code over here. I'm just going to enter that down all the way here so we can't see it. We're going to zoom in and we're going to add the image. So could somebody tell me what tag I use for creating images in HTML? I'm just going to copy and paste it so I can quickly use it. So I just need the tag we use for creating images in HTML, or just the element itself, the name of the element. Okay, IMG, thank you. So IMG, close that, and now we're just going to create our image. I don't have to do too much explaining, hopefully, because we've done this already. But anyways, we use the source attribute, and then here we put the URL to the image. Let me fix those quotations. So I need to find an image I want to use. So I'll just search up sure. So yeah, this is just what we learned last class, adding images. Let me find a, hopefully this one works. So I'm going to copy the image address, go back to our work over here. I'm just going to close out of this. That's just something more clean. Okay, so I'm going to place the image address in between the source attribute, and the source attribute is the source of where the image is, or where the image lives on the internet. Okay, so that's a very long URL. And hopefully I close it off down here as well. Okay, I did. We're going to press run. We're going to see the output. Okay, so we have an image of a dog. So that's done. And then here's where it actually gets cool. So I'm going to have to zoom out a lot so we can actually do this. So pretty much if we already know how to create an image, all we have to do is just grab that image we created. So that image tag and that attribute we used, of course. All we have to do is just copy and paste that in between the opening and closing A tag if we already set up the A tag. So that's actually what I'm going to do here. So I'm just going, that's a very long image address, but I'm just going to copy it. It still works, of course. So I'll just copy this. And then I'm going to zoom in so we can see this carefully. So I'm going to go in between here, just remove this for now as well. I'm just going to copy and paste the image in between the opening and closing A tags. So once again, this is very hard to look at. I know this is a lot, but yeah, so hopefully I've done it correctly. So now we have the image. Okay, so this is where I'm actually going to test you guys right now quickly. So we're going to go F11, zoom in more so we can just see the pure output. Okay, so could somebody, just off of looking at my screen, could somebody tell me if this is going to work, if this URL is going to take me somewhere? Because it's going to be something actually very useful you can use in the future. for images that are that big, how do you make them smaller? Okay, so if you've done this, if you were here last class, we learned about attributes for the image. So we could use the height attribute and we could use the width attribute. So yeah, you want to use the height and width attribute. So maybe I'll explain that later. Right now, we're just going to continue on. So yeah, you can change the height and width just as somebody typed. Okay, anyways. So yeah, something you should really look for all the time is that bottom left corner of your screen if you're using the Chrome web browser, as far as I know. So we can actually, once again, see that URL down here. And we can also see that our mouse icon changes. So we can actually press on this image and it will take us to a different web page. Okay, so somebody asked me to use a different image URL, so I'll actually do that now. So I guess I'll just go like this. This is a lot. So yeah, I guess I don't really need to explain this as hard as I am right now because we have made an image last class. But anyways, I'll just do it. So the URL in between here, I've been provided a good image address. Let me just put that on the same line just so it's cleaner. Let me see what I can do. Zoom out a bit. Okay, so we're going to press run. This time we have a very large picture of a dog. So we can actually change the size with the height and width attributes. I'm just going to use those quickly. So width, I'll zoom in so we can see this again. Width equals quotations in between here, whatever value. I'll say 100, 300 actually. I'm going to give it the height attribute as well. Yeah, because I didn't put any. Okay, so we're going to press run. And then we just change the size of the image so it's a lot smaller now. So yeah, last thing I'm going to do with this is I'm going to press on it and we see that it opens up the new tab. In this case, the link I had attached was to the Google Meet things. That's the one I got earlier. But anyways, that's just a clickable image. So it's pretty much just you putting the image we already know how to create in between the A tag. So it doesn't work for me. Okay, we can try to fix that. I believe we are getting short on time, so we're just going to speed through a bit more. Once we get this done, I'll actually try. I'll help you guys after class, so it doesn't work for me. So yeah, we'll try that later. We're going to try that a little bit after class because we have to speed through now. Okay, so this time we're only going to take like a 2-minute break now, and then we'll be back. So yeah, I'm looking at chat. I'm actually going to be here. I just need to get a glass of water, and then we'll continue on. But yeah, if you have any questions, I'll be in chat in just a moment. So yeah, maybe stretch, get a glass of water. Yeah, just yeah, take a break. Okay, good job everyone so far. And yeah. Yeah, okay, so be careful, please. Yeah, that NBA one slowed me down. Okay, it looks like it's been 2 minutes. I think I left at the 35 mark. So anyways, we're going to continue. So hopefully everybody's back. Everybody can hear me all right. Okay, so for this next thing we're gonna do, I'm gonna ask ahead of time. I'm gonna need all hands on deck because this is almost like a group project, and I'm also gonna be participating. So I already asked in advance that you guys do your best to help me out because I'm definitely gonna need your help for this to work. So let's go back to the presentation. And yeah, so we learned about clickable text, clickable image. I can help you after class about that if you're having trouble. Anyways, okay, so yeah, we have a challenge to complete. The name of the challenge is the chain challenge. Okay, so the goal for this challenge is just to demonstrate and gain a better understanding of the use of the A tag. So that makes it so that we need, of course, communication skills. We need knowledge on the A tag. We're actually going to need our solo learn blogs. It's all right if you don't have your blog. You will be able to just use any solo learn code you have ready to share. And yeah, you need the links to your solo learn blog. So it doesn't have to be your blog exactly. Maybe it can just be a project you have on solo learn, but you need the link for it. Yeah, we're also going to need the target blank attribute. And yeah, so once again, I'm going to need all hands on deck. Okay, so before we start off, I guess it's better if we start with a little bit of people. So could I get 5 volunteers for now? Would anybody like to volunteer for this project? Okay, that's great. Okay, Sharif, that's great. Okay, that's great. Yep, okay. Thank you, Brian. Ayomi, would you like to help volunteer? Because I know you're going to be helpful. Actually, 3 would also work. Let's see who else. We need one more person and we'll get started. Nadir will also volunteer. Okay, that's great. So everybody who's volunteering, I believe you can unmute your mics because we're going to need communication. Okay, great. So I will volunteer. Okay. So yeah, we have enough people for now. After we do the first batch, we'll just keep adding people afterwards. So while you guys are following along, for the main people who aren't the main volunteers, make sure you can get the links to your solo learn blogs because you're going to need that. Okay, anyways, so here's the concept of what we're going to be doing with our solo learn blogs. So really, we're just going to be creating a long chain of just web pages connected together. So we have web page A, web page B, web page C. These are just example titles. So of course, instead, these would be our actual own solo learn codes, our own solo learn projects. So for example, web page A could be mine. I could have mine. And then I would need to put the A tag on my page. And then I would also need to put the link to the next person's blog, which is whoever's on web page B. So that maybe could be Sharif. And then Sharif would need to put the link to web page C in his blog. And web page C would need to put the link to web page D on his blog, on her for his blog. And yeah, just keep continuing now. So if I remember, it was Ayomide, Nadira, Sharif, Brian, and Samantha, I believe. But we can keep adding people afterwards. The only problem is that this gets a lot harder with a lot more people. So yeah, it's great. We have volunteers. So yeah, once again, using the A tag, we essentially want to create a long chain of blogs. So I have another example or something else to continue on with it. So for each page in our chain, so for each like individual page, so maybe for my page or whoever's page is next, so Sharif's page, you need to mention the previous blog or the previous page the user's on and what page they're going to next, and then what page they're on now. So I have an example actually prepared for us to look at. So let's just see. Okay, so I have an example for us. Yeah, what was your question, Sharif? I believe I cut you off on accident. Yeah. Okay, so here's an example here. So this could be to take you to the next page. Yeah, almost like that. Yeah. So here's just a quick example. So once again, I think I should start off. I guess I can be the first page. So yeah, A's web page, And then this is just an example, of course. So you can take the link below to meet B's webpage. And yeah, so in this case, it might be a Darius webpage, take the link below to meet my friend Sharif's webpage. And then I take that hyperlink, it would open up B's webpage. And then something important to note is that the web page is in the middle. It should say that, hey, you must have visited this web page. So it has to mention the web page previously, and then the one it's going to take you to. So you already know it's B's web page. It says, hey, you must have visited A's web page. Nice to meet you. Take the link below to visit C's web page, or you could just have the link there by itself. And takes you to C's web page, and it just continues going. So hopefully that makes sense. If you have any questions along the way, we'll get started. But anyway, since I'm actually going first, I need to open up my project. So someone could just type in the chat, can I be next? Okay, so yeah, we need to decide the order. Okay, so Ayomide already asked to be next, so it's going to be me, the first page. Can we see the link for C? Sure. I don't think I actually really made it, but okay, I guess I did. So C's page. Hey, you must have visited B's webpage. Don't ask how I know that. Take the link below to visit D's webpage, and it just keeps going and going and going. Okay, so you don't have a blog. So this is one of the reasons that I ask you guys to complete the extra activities, but in this case, it's all right if you don't have a blog. All you need to do is just create, if you need to quickly create a solo learn project and have it shareable. So maybe just create a quick solo learn project, write in maybe something about yourself, and yeah. So yeah, that's another reason we need to come, or we need to try our best to do the extra activities, because it will help us out with next classes. But yeah, just try to create a quick solo learn project and grab the link for that. Okay, sure. If you said you'll be second, you might have to be third, because I believe Ayomide is second if we're counting me as first. So yeah, I guess we'll just start off with 3 for now, and then we'll continue adding. Okay, so I need to get mine. I believe I actually did create a blog. Yeah, I have one. Here we go. Okay, so Ayomide, I need the link to your blog. Let me zoom out a bit so we can actually see this better as well. Your project didn't save. Oh, that's very sad. Oh, that's not good. I don't know what you're gonna have to do. You might just have to do it again, but sorry to hear that. Okay. Yeah, I am. I'm waiting for the link for your blog. If you take too long, we might have to make you third. But yeah, in the meanwhile, everybody else, please grab the links to your solo learn projects that you want to put on the chain challenge. Okay, great. Yomini, I believe that's actually just the link to the HTML page itself. So you need to go to share, and then you need to copy and paste this link here. So the link should look something like this. And meanwhile, while you figure out that, Sharif, could you put the link to your blog in chat? Okay. So yeah. Yep, no problem. Yeah, we're just doing this for now, just to get it going. You'll get a link afterwards. 1, 2. Okay, nice. I got Iomedes as well, so yeah, it looks like you will have one. Okay, so Iomene, once Sharif shares his link, you're going to need to put that in your solo learn block as well. So for now, I guess you guys can look at my screen and see kind of what I'm doing. So I'm going to say, I'm just going to put my link at the top at my page. I'm going to say, visit, instead of visit, oh yeah, it's going to be okay, so I have the animated page here. I guess I'll put another title as well. Samantha also shared her link. Okay, great. So we're already getting solo learn links. That's good. Okay, thank you. Okay, so Sharif, what you need to do now is that you need to add Samantha's link to your. You need to add Samantha's link to your blog, and then Ayomide, you need to add Sharif's link to your blog. So hopefully that makes sense. So Ayomide, you're adding Sharif's link. Sharif, you're adding Samantha's link. Samantha, we'll see if you have to add somebody's link to your groceries list soon. Yeah, this is great. This is going smoothly. I guess I have to mention the one. This is the start of the chain. You see if this looks all right. This is the start of the chain. Visit Ayamide's page here. Sure, I guess that's good. Okay, so since this is a start, I don't need to mention the one before it. So once again, if you're in the middle, you have to say, you must be coming from a Darius blog or blah, blah, blah's blog. Click here to visit blah, blah, blah's blog, and then my blog, or whatever project you have. Okay, so I actually have to save this. I'm actually thinking of you. No, not yet. We still have 10 more minutes, so we're good on time. So yeah, I'll just save this, I guess. Hopefully my link did not change. If it did. Okay. So I added, did I even add the Yomide's link? No, I did not. So I actually need to do that for this to actually start. So I'm going to copy and paste Yomide's link. So would anybody else like to join? Because we're actually already doing this a lot faster than I expected. So let me copy and paste this. Make sure you use the target blank attribute as well, or just target attribute with the blank value. So I've added Iomide's link. I'm going to press run so I can visit Iomide's page. Make sure you save your work as well on top of everything. So I press run here. Hey, you must have visited a Darius page. Well, my name is Ayomide. Nice to meet you. I love to play football. Okay, that's great. Okay, so Ayomide, once you add Sharif's link, you need to save your work, and then I'll be able to see that output here. Then I can go to Sharif's page. Then Sharif, you need to add Samantha's link, save your work there. And maybe Samantha can actually be the end of the chain, unless if more people would like to join in, of course. So yeah, I'm going to update your current project. You've saved. Okay, let me refresh now. Okay, great. Yeah, you did. Nice. I believe I'm not sure if that's a good link. I believe you messed up your link a bit here. You have two links here. If you have a Google Meet link, then you also have a other link here. Just copy and paste exactly what Sharif sent into that href value. Okay, nice, Sharif. I got your link. We just need to wait for Ayomide to update hers so we can have it there as well. So I guess we can actually look at Sharif's while Ayomide's string fix since I have the link for there. Just becoming a lot of, let me close out of everything so it's more clear for us. Okay, nice. Hey, this is Sharif. This is a part of the chain challenge. Okay, perfect, I believe. Click on me. And then, wow, it takes us all the way to Samantha's work. I'll run this. Oh, you even added a comment. That's cool. Okay, and then we get a grocery list. So that's pretty cool. We've created a chain. Now we just need to connect something in the middle of the chain. So Ayomide, we're waiting on you quickly. And we'll add Ayomide's. And then we have a chain. So we have me, Ayomide, Sharif, then Samantha. So this is actually great. You guys did good so far. If we get somebody else that wants to join, we can add another link after Samantha. So would anybody else like to join? Does anybody else have their Solar and blocks created and ready? Saved it. Okay, nice. Create another. Sorry, could you explain that better? Okay, that's good, Ayome. You just need to add the target attribute, the target, and then equals, and then blank underscore. You just need to do that quickly. Sorry, Sharif, could you explain that again? Yeah, you could do that. You could do that. Okay, we're waiting for you to update yours with the target attribute and then the value blank underscore. Just do that quickly. Press save. Keep refreshing. Okay, great. Okay, so yep, this looks good. So now we're going to go back to the start of the chain, which I believe was my blog. So let me find wherever I have that. I can close this as well for now. Okay, so we actually did that very, very fast. That's very impressive. And we still do have extra time. Yeah, we have 6 minutes to spare. Anyways, let me go to my code example. Hopefully this one is updated. Okay, we're good. Okay, so let's do this now. So I'm going to zoom in a lot. I'm going to press F11 to go full screen. We're going to run our work, zoom in more so we can only see the output. Okay, so this is the start of the chain. This is, it starts with my blog. So Darius blog. So I just put this as the start of the chain and then visit Iomide's page here. So I don't need to mention anything previously. I can just scroll down. You can read my blog if you'd like. We're just going to skip that for now. We're going to press this link, a hyperlink, which will take us to. Okay, I did not update the link here. That's my mistake. Let me fix that quickly. I need to go back. Let me do this quickly. Sorry. There we go. Copy this. Copy. Save this because I did not save the last one. Good. Okay. Run. Zoom in. Output. F11. Zoom out a little bit. Okay, there. Okay, so yeah, we can use it to go to Iomide's page. We press on that and we open up Iomide's page. So I can run Iomide's page and we see Iomide's output. Hey, you must have visited Darius page. We see a little bit of about Iomide, how she likes to play football and swim. And then we have a hyperlink to Sharif's page. So we press this. We go to Sharif's page. I'm going to run this now. And we can say, hey, this is Sharif. This is part of the chain challenge. And we can go to the next page. So I'm just only using links. I'm not actually having to type anything. So yeah, we're on to Samantha's page now. We have Samantha's grocery list, just things she wants to buy at the store. And yeah, she wants to remind herself to buy all these things. So that's just pretty good. We created a pretty good chain. Samantha, of course, does not have to add a link at the end right now because we don't have any more links to add. But if anybody would like to add their page to the chain, we could do that. But hopefully we all understand the logic of links and why we use links to connect things together. Okay, so if anybody makes something and they want to add it to this chain, Malachi, if you're still here, I believe you wanted to do that. So maybe we could actually try that later and add yours to the chain. But yeah, good job, everybody. We did that very smoothly. So good job, Samantha, Ayomide, Sharif. And yeah, good job. Okay. No problem. As long as you understand the concept, we are good. Okay, so this was just an example. And then that's pretty much the end of the class. So we are on extra activities. So yeah, once again, I really recommend completing the extra activities so you can, what was the word? You can participate. That's what I was looking for. You can participate and these other activities we do, because sometimes you will need to be doing the extra activities to maybe even just understand things as well. Okay, so the extra activities for this class, of course, there's also on Google Classroom. You need to find 2 more attributes for the A tag and tell me what they are used for. So yeah, I only mentioned one, or I guess I could say I mentioned 2 attributes for the A tag, target and href. You can tell me what they're used for. Specifically, though, I really want to know what the target attribute for the A tag is used for, because remember that that's something you needed to use in order for this to work as intended. So yeah, you can tell me within the attached Google document for this assignment on Google Classroom. And then I'd also like you to complete. Okay, yeah, my mic was muted. I would also like you to complete up to lesson 15 on HTML fundamentals for solo learn, because that's basically just recapping everything we've learned so far. So it should be a breeze, maybe 10 minutes at most. And lastly, using Solo Learn's Playground, create a hyperlink that is an image. So an image that you can press on and it takes you to any website of your choosing. Once again, make sure you use the target attribute. So once you've created your hyperlink that's an image, get the URL for that whole Solo Learn project and then paste it within the Google Classroom assignment. Yep. Yeah, they can go play. Yeah, they can go play today. I believe it is their birthday as well, too. So yeah, of course they can play. So you guys should say happy birthday to AM. I'll also say it. Anyways, that wraps up to the end of the class. So if we don't have any questions, I actually might have forgotten, but somebody wanted me to go over something again briefly for them. Actually, I'll be here for maybe like an extra 5 minutes. Yeah, great. You guys are saying happy birthday. And yeah, so I'm here. That's the end of the class. Hopefully we understood everything. I'm here for probably 5 more minutes unless there's something I need to go over again. So yeah, good job everybody today. George, I believe George has actually left. George wants to learn how to save his work on. So is George still here? Am I mistaken? Yep, hello? Okay, that's great. That's great. Okay. AM, I believe Learning with Me, the actual organization, will be reaching out to you soon. See if you're interested in volunteering and joining, becoming a mentor yourself. Because, yeah. Or anybody actually can, as long as you have something you want to teach, actually. So, yeah, if you're interested, you can do that because you're very helpful. So, yeah, I guess that wraps up the end of Samantha had a question. Samantha, what was your question again? Also, I skipped out on a comment. Save your work. Hyperlink again. There we go. So hyperlink again. Let me see what I can do. So hyperlink, let me see if a good example. So yeah, by the way, that's the end of the class. If you understood everything, you're free to go. This is just extra stuff. Okay, but let me think of an example for hyperlink. So hyperlink, the only way I can really think of how to say it is that it's a friendlier looking link. So link looks really complicated and boring. So I'll exit out of here for now. So yeah, if we look up here, right where I have highlighted, this is what a link looks like. So it's very complicated. Sometimes it can be very long and it's boring. It's an address basically. So URL address, and you can send it to others and share it with them. So that's what a link is. So what a hyperlink is that it basically takes that link and then it transforms it into something shorter and easier to understand. So I don't know if I still have my example up. I guess I have this document here. So yeah, once again, this is a regular link. It's complicated and hard to understand. A hyperlink and a link share the same function. What a hyperlink does is that it basically just makes it look more friendlier. So this is a hyperlink over here. So in this case, we don't see all this long, complicated text that we don't want to learn how to understand, like HTTPS, semicolon, colon, slash, slash, www, dot, dot, just all that extra stuff. And then here, all we see is click here, and we say, okay, we click here. We click here, and then it takes us to that different web page. So the thing is, these actually do the same exact thing. It's just that one looks more friendlier than the other. So if I press on this link, it takes me to wherever I had that address set to. So it takes me to this website, in this case, learningwithme.org. If I have this link, or sorry, hyperlink, it takes me to the same exact place. So pretty much a hyperlink is just for looking good. It's not going to make your link any faster. It just looks better. So hopefully that explains. I just did that a little bit shorter. So yeah, you can make hyperlinks with just pure text. You can make it say anything you want. And then you can make hyperlinks that are, instead of text, it can actually be an image. So you can press on that image and then it'll take you somewhere. So it's just more visual. It just is easier to understand or easier to look at. So hopefully that makes sense, Samantha. Hopefully I answered your question a bit. But anyways, that wraps up the end of the class. Once again, I'm here for just a little bit longer. Yeah, happy birthday, AM. A moderator, the greatest moderator, or one of the greatest moderators. Bye. Nice seeing you again, Sharif. Okay, so that's the end of the class, everybody. Samantha, did I answer your question before I just leave without not doing what I said I would do? I dare you, but how do I make it? Okay. So specifically, we learned how to make it in HTML. So if we remember, we use the A tag. So the easiest thing I can do first, let me go here. Let me see what I can do. I'll just remove this so I can get straight. Okay. Okay, so the first thing you can do is that you use the A tag. So A tag, boom, opening and closing. The next thing we do is that we need the attribute. So the attribute we're going to use is the href attribute specifically. So we're going to put that within the opening A tag. So href, spelled that wrong, href, and we put our quotations because that's where our value goes. So the href attribute is where we pass the address that we want this hyperlink to take us to. So this is where we put the URL for where the hyperlink takes us to. I guess I could just repeat that again. So yeah, that's where you put like the stuff that's not very nice to look at, but it is what you need to get there. So in this case, I want this link to take me to the YouTube trending page. So I'm going to copy the address for where I want it to take me to. I'll copy that and I'll put that in between the quotations. Done. So now we have our functioning A tag. So something we need to do to actually make it a real hyperlink is that we need to put either text, an image, or just anything that a hyperlink is in between these opening and closing tags. Because we still do have our opening and closing tags here, just so we've added an attribute. So in between here, this closing tag, and then up here in this opening tag, we have our text for whatever we want to appear in our screen. So for say, if you had your grocery list, you could say, buy your groceries online from this website. Buy your groceries. I guess I won't care about spelling. Groceries online from this website. I guess I do want to spell it correct. Buy your groceries online from this website. Okay, so now we have buy your groceries online from this website. So immediately when you see this, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to press on this so I can actually go to that website. I didn't put target attribute that would take us to the link. I can actually fix that quickly. So I guess for all the people who are still here, I'll just say the target attribute makes it open up in a new tab. If you remember what I just said. So blank underscore. That's what we need to do to say open a new tag. So yeah, we say buy your groceries online from this website, and then here you would put the URL to the website if you wanted to do that, of course. So let me think of what I want to do next. So I'll just press run for now. We press on this link, and it takes me to the page I had attached. In this case, it was youtube.com. But of course, if I wanted it to relate to my link, I would put another thing. I'd put what's called. I would put the link to a grocery website. Anyways, so just to compare once again to the link one last time, this is what it would look like if I didn't change anything and it was just a normal link. So you show this to a user and they're like, okay, what am I looking at here? I'm just looking at maybe even just like letters that are mixed up together. So it's just not more clear and it's harder to understand. So once again, it's not necessary to do. You don't have to, but it's always something better to do for new users. So Samantha, does that explain how you also make it? So open and closing a tag, the href attribute, the address. Okay, that's great. Okay, so if there are no more questions, that is the end of the class. No problem, by the way. Also, the extra activities, which once again is recommended to do, is on Google Classroom. 4 a.m. Have fun with your cake. That's cool. Okay, so that's the end of the class, guys. I'll see you next time. Nice having you all here today. Hopefully you learned something new. And yeah. Okay, I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you next week again. Once again, if you have any questions, you can also put them on the Google Classroom that you're hopefully in. Okay, so bye, guys. Huh? Thank you.
Everyone knows when you've taken a shower because the whole house smells like bathroom.